It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.
Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy, Kev, just coming at you like a mean-spirited tweet from PETA, just disrespecting a dead man on his birthday. Here to let you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. And even though we cover many serious cases and true events, we do like to throw in some inappropriate jokes and dark humor, and a special disclaimer on this episode because there's a lot of the T-Bro C style humor in this one, so if you don't find us funny or you don't like us or think we're kind of fugly, then I'd probably skip this one because we joke a lot through it. And we do talk about a few things at the beginning for a little bit, so if you're looking to jump right into the case, I would go about 10 to 15 minutes into the episode, and we should start right around there. So yeah, thank you everyone that's been leaving us reviews and sharing us with your friends and all that cool fun stuff. And yeah, so thanks for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I am ashamed. I'm titty-ass naked on the floor. Illusion never changed. My dog ate all my chips. I'm wide awake and I can see an empty bag of chips. You're a little late. I'm all out of chips.
Alright, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And today we got a pretty spooky mystery, but before we jump into that, I want to introduce y'all to my little fruit basket boys.
Fuck yeah, I like that. What's going on, guys? This is Tim, or Reba Lackatire, as they called me when I was a nudist.
Oh my god. Lackatire. Oh, that's a really good one.
Thanks, guys.
She didn't actually want to be a nudist at first, and she was begging you, please don't take my pants. So she had no choice.
That's exactly what happened.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Audi belly button boy, the Toof.
Oh, shit.
You don't have an Audi, do you?
They don't know that, and they gotta pay to see it.
Hey, you don't have an Audi, do you? I thought you drove a Ford.
Don't laugh at that. No one laugh.
I'll say this, I used to be an Audi, and then Kevin stuck his finger in it and like push it, like inward. So now he keeps walking around calling me Innie the Pooh.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Spence, or the Ice Pick Man, as those lost hikers in Alaska called me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty Dog, a.k.a. Mr. Big Chest. It's so fucking stupid. That's what Antonio Brown said he wanted his new nickname to be.
I mean, that is his nickname, guys.
I can't hear that without thinking of Meatloaf from Fight Club. But Mr. Big Chest is so fucking stupid.
It is pretty bad, yeah.
Well, he's already Mr. Big Head.
Oh, that is true, man.
Burn. Shots fired.
And just a quick note before we begin. This episode is for the people that don't like it whenever we make fun of people's names so much. So this case, it has no funny names whatsoever. And I'm giving you my scout's honor that no jokes will be made at any of the names. So we're doing this one for those people that don't like all those jokes.
Alrighty.
Somehow I don't believe you.
Yeah, that's your promise, not mine.
Yeah.
And also, I hope all you campers are well nourished. And I hope you brought yourselves a big old thermos of coffee, because you're about to join your favorite brothers on a good old-fashioned stakeout.
Fuck yeah.
But don't you worry.
Why do we need to be well nourished if there's going to be steak?
That's a good point.
Got it there.
Because we're all vegan. But don't you worry. You got your brothers behind the wheels of this RV. And some more good news, not only do we not have a DVD player, and not only do we not have the DVD RV to watch on this trip,
Oh my god.
Damn.
but the place we're going, it's only an hour drive from your boy's current location.
Hey, by the way, what was that movie called with Robin Williams where he's driving around with his family in an RV?
Wasn't it called Family Trips?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude.
There was a girl at Bob's.
She was like, she kept trying to explain the movie RV,
Yeah.
but didn't know what it was called. She's like, yeah, it's got Robin Williams. He takes his family.
Dude, we knew the whole time. We just fucking kept her going. We're like, what is it again? And she's like, yeah, it's Robin Williams. He takes his family in the RV. We're like, no, I don't know. Like, what else happens? And she just said the word RV probably like 100 times and still just never knew it was called RV.
What if she's like, I remember what's called Family Splatters.
Oh, fuck
The
yes.
ultimate home invasion movie.
Gosh, until that
That's old school.
until that Sharon Tate movie comes out.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
That's true.
Dude, that's going to be fucking insane, and I'm going to watch
Oh, there's
it.
a Sharon Tate movie?
Yeah, with Hillary Duff. And, dude, it's about her seeing, like, her own murder, and then we all know how that ends.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
She avoids it, like in
Yeah.
the, in like the Telltale games where you see like a button pop up and you
Yeah.
hit it real quick. She does that and avoids her own death.
That's how it's going to end, yeah.
Wait, is that a real thing? She actually avoids it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was like,
that's
what
just
the
being
fuck,
dumb.
dude?
No, we're but I'm going to
Honestly, why would I want to watch it then?
Yeah.
and,
Holy shit.
and actually, during this whole thing, if you hit the buttons right, and like, because they made a video game also, and you avoid like some of the different things, instead of Helter Skelter, if you do it just right, it says Hater Skater.
If you
Holy shit.
Hater, skater, Christian Slater.
Oh, fuck
right.
yes. Man. Holy
and you know,
shit.
if you hit enough buttons right, then you get a 100% on Dragon Force Guitar Hero 3.
Fuck yeah.
That was actually Charles Manson's point all along.
That's
He
true.
was planning this the whole time.
So, alrighty, guys, it's time to join us as we travel to Massillon, Ohio, to dive into the mystery of the unsolved case of Bill and Dorothy Wacker.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, dude.
Hey, were they into weed?
Oh, my God.
So, sorry I had to break that name joke promise earlier. I forgot. I wrote that before I dove too far into this case. I didn't realize that their last name was Wacker.
Yeah, I didn't realize that like I'm apparently related to them every time I can't sleep and I need something to do.
So that's right, Bill and Dorothy Wacker. Now, Bill Wacker, some of you may know him by his name that he uses out on the range, the amazing golf ball Wacker guy.
Fuck yeah.
Let me throw this one in there. This is a shout out to Daniel, because I think they're supposed to be Australian. But what about their the Wacker's cousins, the Bushes?
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
You know what's funny? There's Wackers that live right around here.
There might be some Whackers that
Right
live in here.
Like actually related to these people, probably.
Oh, yeah,
Because I mean, there's a
probably.
family of Wackers not too far from here. I remember my sister had friends with a bunch of kids from a different school, and sometimes they would come over.
Yeah.
And I remember one time they saw headlights pulling our driveway, and they're like, "God damn it, is that Wacker?"
Oh fuck
And it
yes.
was.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
shit,
All I remember is
dude.
he had like 9 toes.
What?
Wait, so he was one of the bosses in fucking Borderlands?
He had 9 toes and hairy palms.
Now, if the name sounds familiar, it's because Bill and Dorothy Wacker, they were on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries in regards to this case.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I remember from when I was 3.
Damn, Toof just rumbled a little stinker out.
Dude, Tooth's bringing out the fucking spirit of Andrew.
So before we start, I do have a couple things to mention real quick. One, just thank you to everyone that left us reviews on iTunes this week. It really helps us out. We have a goal to make it onto the top 200 in comedy charts this year, so we can't do that without you. So thank you for helping the underdogs. The second thing, I want to say thank you to Raven for the topic suggestion, and also a shout out to Demonic Majin on Twitter, because whenever we were mentioning this ideas for t-shirts, he mentioned cash flow. which is
so
a fucking
good.
old school video we
yeah.
made that probably has 30 views total.
Yeah, and it's 29 of those are us, and the other one's that guy.
Yeah, apparently.
So that was super cool. Thank you. And also happy birthday to Wildman from Queens. His birthday is at the beginning of March.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So,
Happy birthday, man. Nasty boys.
And thank you for sending. He sent us a bunch of shirts. I got to go pick up. Actually, tomorrow's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday.
So
yeah.
if anyone out there wants to be super cool, tweet or email me happy birthday to Mama Green, and I'll send them to her. She'd like it.
She's not gonna see it. I'm gonna take her out for a night, but I mean, she'll see it. She'll see it like 2 days.
Yeah,
from
she'll
now.
see it probably.
Yeah, she'll see it
afterwards.
eventually. I mean, she's gonna be a little sore, but she'll see it.
Well, when she rolls over for that cigarette when you guys are done, I'm sure she'll check her phone.
No, because that's where Toof's gonna be.
Oh.
Yeah, possibly. I've only got 2 options for it's either make me some grits or show me those tits.
Oh my goodness. Well, my mom never was much of a cook, so hope you like owls because you're about to see some hooters.
Actually,
and for our Patreon supporters, we're going to be doing Tooth Stories Part 2 tonight. So if you want to hear those stories, sign up for the Patreon, $1 a month. So alrighty, guys, anything before we jump into this case. Sorry for all those updates and shout-outs and everything.
I don't think so.
So alrighty, before we dive tits first into this unsolved mystery,
yes.
let's learn a little bit about the wonderful city where it all takes place. This city, of course, being Massillon, Ohio, located in Stark County, just an hour drive from us here, so not too far away.
No.
Yeah, it's got the king in the north, Stark County.
Yes, it does. Okay, I like that. Took me a while. Game of Thrones.
Oh, I didn't get it.
And when going on the Massillon website, the first thing you are hit with is their wonderful slogan, the City of Champions. So that's pretty cool. They got a lot of athletes, a lot of champions here, as you'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Including our friend WC. We can't say what the W stands for, but he is a super white kid who listened to a lot of hip hop
No.
and wore FUBU.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but every time we play basketball every week, he would come drive it in late as fuck. So there's
Every
already
fucking
games
time.
going on.
Every time.
And he would blast that Nelly song, Got the Heart of a Champion, the
so
same
good.
part every week.
So good.
Now, the Massillon Tigers, that's the name of the football team here at Massillon Washington High School. And it turns out that they're actually pretty good.
Oh.
Historically, one of the most winningest high school teams in the United States.
Wow.
And second only to Valdosta High School in Valdosta, Georgia. I don't know how to pronounce that. So
That's surprising.
yeah. So thank you, Wiki, for some of this information. I did just take it from the Wiki here. Now,
Thank you, Wiki.
they're always second place to the Valdesta Cheddars. What's that fucking shit called? Valvita. There we go.
God. So you got one letter right. So now you may be asking yourself, how good was this Tiger team? Well, they have accumulated 22 state AP championships, 9 national AP championships, and as of 2012, the Tigers have an overall record of 837 wins, 249 losses, and
Jesus.
35 ties.
Holy
That is
shit,
fucking
man.
ridiculous.
Man, they must dress really nice.
Well, good thing that Kevin. Jesus.
Fuck out of here.
Holy shit. I was going to say, good thing Kevin Durant's not listening or he's going to go join that team. Yeah.
I know, dude, for real.
My next chapter.
Hey, Toof, this high school team's pretty good. Do you remember how many games our high school won when we were in high school? The fucking Mounties?
During our high school tenure, from like 3 to 6?
Yeah.
Or something like that. 3-37.
Oh, we
Holy
did win 3
shit.
games?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Our freshman year, we won 1.
Okay.
Our
I know our senior we didn't.
sophomore was 2, maybe?
Okay, and that was it.
Yeah. Then 0-10.
So basically, they were the Browns of before we got Baker Mayfield.
Oh, speaking of Browns,
Yeah,
Primo.
they never got Baker.
Of course, we have to mention one of the best, greatest dudes of all time, Paul Eugene Brown, the man that the Cleveland Browns were named after.
Oh, hell yeah.
He was an alumni and also a football coach for the Tigers, as well as the co-founder and very first coach of the Cleveland Browns.
That's awesome.
And the creator of them. I wonder what his record was there at the Tigers.
I don't know how to be good.
Well, fuck, you said he graduated from there or coached there?
He graduated. I'm pretty sure he was a Buckeye also.
Okay, because I could see him just going to college and coaching immediately after playing.
So yeah, there's a ton of important people that were born here, especially athletes, but there's like a huge giant list, but that's not what we're here to discuss today. Today, we're going to solve a mystery, a case that makes absolutely zero sense to me, And my sources for this were mostly from Unsolved Mysteries, Medium.com, and also the 13thfloor.com. So that's where I got a good chunk of this.
Oh, the Mapleton team is called the Mounties.
The Mapleton Mounties. Hell yeah.
But you're not even in Canada.
What?
I mean, there's no pirates in Black River.
Canada came to us.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And all of our band members, they wore like full-on Mountie suits with the hats and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was
that's
actually
awesome.
Why?
There was a guy dressed as a Mountie riding a moose on the football field.
Fuck.
An
yes.
actual moose.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
that's all fake.
Oh, I was like, man.
Dude, I was believing all of this.
The
Yeah.
only good thing that ever came out of our school isn't even good. It's just Jose Canseco's ex-wife graduated from Mapleton, and I think he like beat her or something. I don't know.
I
He's
mean-
Jose Canseco.
Wait, was it actually Jose Canseco or was it Jim Carrey?
Oh my god.
I'm Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco.
So she was carrying on the Mapleton tradition of getting beat.
Oh, no.
Fuck yes, dude.
I know this has been mentioned in a lot of podcasts lately, but just because it's happening, you see what Jose Canseco is doing now?
I didn't know you were still alive.
I'm just going to go on
Yeah.
his Twitter, okay? And
It's-
I'm going to read you his last tweet. Are
It's
you
not.
ready?
It's not Madonna again. Is he banging Madonna again?
Let me try
He's a
and
baseball player.
let me try and think what the hell he's going crazy about.
He was a great baseball player.
He switched to sex.
Wouldn't be
Are
surprised.
you ready?
Yeah.
Hurry up. This was from 4 hours ago.
Oh fuck yes.
Hurry up. Bigfoot excursion almost full. The
Oh.
experience of a lifetime. Call Morgan at 702-374-3735. He is giving fucking tours in the woods if you want to go with him to find aliens and Bigfoot.
Well,
Okay,
Kev,
that's
why
cool.
don't you sign up?
Dude, honestly, I would do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool actually.
Yeah.
I had a dream last night that I was an actor. I must say, I always wanted to be an actor, not a baseball player. That's followed up immediately with, our next president will be a woman with a genius IQ. Transgender with a genius IQ.
Yeah. All right.
Stay away from Bitcoin. It will go up 8%, then rapidly drop 33%.
Oh, fuck you, Jose Canseco.
Yeah. No.
If I were president, I would give citizenship to aliens and Bigfoot.
I'm back on board. I'm back on board.
So, Kev, how much were the tickets for that?
I sold him my virginity.
So Kevin, how much did he pay you to write his tweets for him?
Oh,
He was writing them
Must
on
be
the
a sweet
spot as he was
commission.
saying it.
So, alrighty, here we go. And the story begins back in 1984. Dorothy and Bill Wacker. Both were born and raised in Stark County, and they were said to have been, very quiet and unassuming people. They kept to themselves, and they had no known enemies. And I even found some of the Wacker family members on Facebook.
Didn't you?
Just because I just looked them up because I was bored.
Were they live?
I was going to, if you, find live whackers near you.
Do they run like a pest control company? Like if you got like moles in your yard?
Whack-a-mole.
And Bill, he was born in 1920. He was a private first class in the U.S. Army, and he served in World War II.
There's no way they called him by his last name.
Private Wacker.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. Hey, Private Bill.
Bill Wacker. Private Wacker.
I guarantee they called him by his last name.
Yeah, dude, he probably got the fucking Full Metal Jacket treatment all the time. Like they beat his ass with
He
the
didn't even
fucking-
do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They still beat him with
Yeah,
soap.
yeah, they tied him down and beat his ass. They were hitting that dude in the nuts and shit too. They did that to Bill for sure.
What about his other cousin in the army, Private Richard Wacker?
And now Dorothy, I don't really know what she did, but she was born in 1927. So I'm guessing she was just like a stay-at-home mom raising the kids. And I just found an official note. She was bored a lot. So,
Oh, yeah.
no, I don't know what she did.
She clapped her red shoes together.
And
Oh,
then,
fuck yeah,
and then,
dude. that
and then when she got older, she just walked and clapped. That's not funny.
And then they named the gadget and Twister after her.
oh, fuck yes.
Dorothy's gonna fly.
Oh, yeah.
So they're a married couple for almost 50 years, living in Massillon for almost the entirety of those 50 long, wonderful years together. So here we are in 1984. Both are retired by now, I believe, and not working. And then the couple, they begin getting harassed.
Wait, you said she was born in 1927?
Yeah.
And he was born in 1920.
I didn't know Andrew was that old. Oh, you said Dorothy, not Dorky.
So twice before this event, while they were away from home, somebody or somebodies had broken into their house, ransacked the place, and left it a giant mess. I'm assuming they mostly took something at least, but these two events, these two burglaries, were never reported. And it wasn't until January 16th, 1985, when it happened a third time, that they decided to file a report of the incident with the police.
I don't think anybody was breaking in, though. They thought it was like some kind of like brothel because they just saw like the doormat where it said the Wackers.
It said welcome. Welcome, Wackers. And like the place was always pristine, always looked so nice, and that was because they always had a motto: "We're whackers, not slackers."
That's stupid.
When you first started that paragraph, I thought it was like that Korn song. I thought it was like that somebody, someone.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then this is kind of funny, but in the Unsolved Mysteries recreation, like whenever they walk in, the guy playing Bill is like, "Oh no, not again. Dang nabbit, I've had enough. That's it, I'm calling the sheriff."
Oh, fuck.
It's not exactly like that. I don't know if he actually said dang nabbit, but it's still funny.
That's how it actually happened.
So they file a report, and I don't know why they waited until the third time to do so. But at least it's reported now, I guess. Granted that if someone breaks in your house and steals something, there's really not a whole lot the police are going to be able to do about it, though. And then during this third break-in, another quote from in the Unsolved Mysteries recreation is, "Oh, God bless it. Darn it." And then Dorothy says, "What's wrong, Bill? Did they take something of importance to you?" And he said, "No, God damn it. They stole everything except for my Zune."
Oh, man, so they stole everything of value that you own.
They left the fucking Zune.
You know what? I'm going to log into my fucking Zune account and see what I got left on there.
I love that in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he gets a Zune at the end.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't
funny.
seen that. I haven't seen the second one.
It's
Yeah, he
it's pretty
loses
good.
his tape player and he gets a Zune.
Oh, wow.
Zunes. I've never actually seen a Zune.
No. I don't think any of us have
Yeah.
besides Bill Gates.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bigfoot of MP3 players.
So we have 3 burglary break-ins in the span of 1 year or so, with no idea who has been doing this or why, and I don't imagine these old people have a ton of stuff worth stealing unless the burglar is like a big fan of Werther's or stale circus peanuts.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He wants the Rolos.
or random keys that you have no idea where the fuck they go to.
Or season 3 of Monk. I don't know why. My grandma watched that show. I don't know if old people do,
Dude,
but she did.
I liked Monk, though.
All right, stay with me here.
I've heard it's good.
I think it's someone collecting dust because they're starting a museum and they want to put dust all over like the dinosaur bones and everything to make
Yeah.
it seem legit.
Right.
So we would sneak in at night and take a broom and dust off that old lady's pussy.
I like that he said, "Stay with me, guys. Hey, just bear with me. It'll make sense in the
It
end."
will. It all comes together in the end.
Yeah. It was a long story, too, but I'm glad I waited.
Man, the Night at the Museum movies are going downhill.
Is that with Ben Stiller?
Hey, well, we don't have Robin Williams anymore. Well, let's just dust that old lady's pussy then. It's the same thing. Now, according to the Wackers, they said it had appeared that somebody was trying to force them to move out. Why? I have no idea. This is just like a nowhere place in Massillon. I don't really see any reason why somebody would want them to move out, but I don't know. Maybe we have like a Brady Bunch situation going on and they're trying to get them to move. I have no idea.
I'm just picturing protesters with like picket signs out front, like "Be gone, whackers! Get it? We don't need whackers here."
And this is kind of funny in an interview because in the Unsolved Mysteries episode, they have like the reenactment and then they have interviews with the real Wackers. And Bill says, "Why should we be forced out by a kook? That's what it is to me, a kook. I'll not to it. I'll stay here and protect our home."
Okay.
But he keeps saying kook.
Yeah.
And since he was like a war vet, I had to rewind it and make sure he was using that word with a K and not a G.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
Spoiler alert, though, unfortunately, protect that home he would not. So he must not have had any Under Armour in that house.
Oh.
Must not have had a condom.
Because 6 months later, in July of 1985, Dorothy, she is at home alone resting and recovering from heart surgery that she recently had, and that's when she hears a knock at the door. And if we go based on the recreation of the show, this fucker, he is decked out in all denim. Like, I'm talking head to toe, just straight denim. So this guy, he says that his car broke down, and he's wondering if he could use her phone real quick. And then Dorothy, she looks out, she sees no car, and she's like, yo, Jean Grey.
What was the...
She didn't say that.
He would have turned into the fucking Phoenix then, man.
What was the day this happened on? Like, date?
It was on July of 1985.
What was your dad doing there?
Dude, he said only denim. He didn't say anything about a Marlboro jacket.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
So Dorothy, she looks out, and this guy's like asking if he can use a phone. She sees no car. So she's like, she didn't say Jean Grey. She's like, yo, Denham, Washington.
That's not funny either.
But anyways, she's like, where's your car at? And he says, oh, it's just down the street some. So that sounds kind of fishy. Like, he says he needs to use her phone because his car broke down, but there's no car outside anywhere. And Dorothy said that she was trusting, and she didn't want to think the worst of somebody. So she let him come in the house to use her phone. And plus, this is in the 80s, and she's old, so...
Wait, she let him come in the house?
The Wackers.
Yeah.
I guess it was a family tradition.
And he was very polite. So she leads him to the living room to use the phone. And then she leaves him alone and she goes into the kitchen. So, like, first off, fuck that. Like, no stranger dangers in my place. And if I do let them in, I'm not going to just let them have an entire room to themselves like that. And she said that she could hear him talking on the phone, but she wasn't paying any attention to him because she didn't believe in listening in on other people's conversations. So # Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman, yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, stranger danger, he then says thanks from the other room, and so Dorothy thought that he just left, but not so fast. The denim ninja master must actually be made of iron, and he must be hot, because he's about to strike.
Ooh.
So he sneaks up behind this old lady, and he punches her in the back of the head, just knocking her the fuck out.
Donkey punch.
And she's old as fuck. So, like, he really didn't have to sneak up on her or do any of that shit.
No.
He could have just, like, yelled boo at her or been like, hey, they canceled the Ed Sullivan show. Or, like, told her that wrestling was fake or something. And she just had heart surgery, so she probably would have died.
He honestly could have just waited like 11 minutes anyway, though. Like, it was going to happen.
She should have had her life alert on, man.
11 minutes till heaven.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He showed her a picture of me doing the goats. What's that called? Goatsy?
Doing goatsy.
Oh,
Goatsy.
goatsy. I thought he
Okay.
meant you fucking goats. I was like, hey, here's
Doing
a
the
picture
goats.
of the two fucking goats. So next, Dorothy wakes up on the kitchen floor, tied up and gagged. And she said that the kitchen window was open, so she crawled over to it and made enough noise to yell out for her neighbor to hear her. And then they came over and untied her. And then they called the police. So fucking Bill, he's 0-1 since he made the claim that he would protect this house.
Good job, Bill.
But there is some good news. Dorothy, she wasn't seriously injured from the attack. However, there were some items missing from the house.
Like, Bill got home and he's like, what happened? The cops are like, somebody attacked her wife. He's like, what? Somebody tried to whack her?
Look, she's gonna be okay. And he's like, God damn it! He's like, I fucking paid that hitman for nothing.
They're like, yeah, something's missing from the house. And he's like, oh, shit. And he runs upstairs and opens his giant cupboard. And he looks and he sees like a spot where there's like 6 dust spots missing. He's like, oh, no, the Joker's cards.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So it turns out this guy that stopped to use the phone and knocked out this old lady, he ended up stealing a .22 caliber revolver, an antique watch, a movie camera, and a radio scanner. And this antique watch,
Damn.
the Wackers, they just called it a watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's so stupid.
Just because they're old.
Do you know what they called Adam and Eve?
What's that?
Son and daughter.
Oh, shit.
But we aren't finished yet. In the dining room, the message, cheaper, but will do, was written in crayon on the wall.
I thought you were going to say by the dozen.
Cheaper,
Yeah,
I wish. At least that would have made
I mean,
sense.
yeah, because they were, you know, trying to give somebody, like, they knew the future. They're like, this is going to be the best movie, like, ever.
Did the
It'll
old
make
guy
so much money?
Did the guy have like white hair at an early age?
So I have no idea why. Like in crayon, he wrote cheaper, but will do. It's a little wacky. Not really sure exactly what it means though.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman. Hashtag Wild Crayon.
Hashtag.
Oh.
But Dorothy, she is able to give a sketch on what this man looked like, and you can see the picture online, and it looks like the most generic looking guy in the entire world. So it's honestly no help at all. And here's her full description of what he looks like. He's in his mid-20s. He's blonde. He has blue eyes. He's white and around 5'9".
Oh, so
Wait,
he's a
so-
Nazi.
Wait, so this dude punched an old woman and she lived.
Yes.
It was fucking DJ Qualls. it was DJ Qualls.
Before she lost conscious, she heard him yell, "Who's the bitch now?" as he ran out.
The fucking new guy.
So this guy just looks like he's any default create your own character from any video.
So was Cody
game.
Rhodes.
Fuck
Cody
yeah.
Rhodes.
She described him as tall, white, red hat, and when he left the room, he said, "This is MAGA country."
Holy shit. Dude, I knew this was coming. I asked Spence all about that because I had no idea what actually happened. I was like, because it's going to get brought up during the podcast. I know it will.
So in some people's opinion, a Nazi.
Oh yeah.
Hey, this is a Joey Salads. Do you remember Joey Salads made that video?
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, look, we left this car with the Trump sticker in the ghetto, and a bunch of black guys beat the shit out of it. And he made that video, but there's another video that showed him paying the black guys to beat up that car.
Oh,
Fuck
my
yes,
God,
dude.
yes.
Hell yes.
Yeah, dude. Hey, this is Joey Salads.
Oh, he paid black guys to beat up a car with... No.
Is it going to be a Street Fighter joke?
No. I wish it would have.
So all that's pretty weird, pretty wacky, but things are about to get even more wackier for the Wackers. Just a couple of months later, in November that year, the .22 caliber revolver was returned and left on the Wackers' front porch. It was left in a plastic grocery bag. So that's pretty fucking odd, right?
That is really weird.
Kind of nice. Hashtag nice.
Damn, did someone fart? It stinks real bad.
Like 20 minutes ago.
They called that bag the wacky sack.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
It's one of them flaming bags again.
Don't put it out with your boots, Dad.
Don't tell me what to do, devil woman.
Dude, imagine how scary it'd be if you lit that bag on fire and he ran out and stomped on it and the gun shot off.
Oh, my God.
Fuck yeah.
He just started having Vietnam flashbacks.
He called the shit poop.
Now, according to Unsolved Mysteries, Bill, he was the one that found the gun. And this whole harassment is starting in 1984. It goes on for 10 years or
Jesus
so. About
Christ.
10 years.
Damn.
And in the next couple of months, one by one, the rest of the stolen items, they were returned to the home as well. And each item was wiped of fingerprints, which was a smart move because now the investigators, they have, like, well, these are the only pieces of, like, the only clues we really have and information that can help us find the identity of whoever this son of a bitch harasser is.
Did the harasser actually, like, did he also take their adopted son, David?
David Wacker?
No, it's I'm Dan Cook.
I don't remember.
It's when the guy that keeps, like, breaking into the house.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Young adopted son, David.
Beads?
They took the beads.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I don't want to sound like the bad guy here, but I'm going to kind of put the blame on the Wackers because they could have ended this harassment like way sooner. So like this was going on for 10 years, right?
Yeah, it goes on for 10 years.
All they had to do is not get this harassment vaccinated. That usually only lasts like 5 years.
Gotta keep up that herd immunity.
And Bill, he's puzzled because he can't figure out why somebody would bring all this shit back. And he figured that if someone was going to steal all this and they no longer had a use for it, like why wouldn't they just sell it or pawn it? So it seems like somebody is just completely messing with the poor Wackers. And yeah, it's so rare and almost completely unheard of, especially with a gun, for somebody to steal a gun and then return it like a month later. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
So things start to get even worse for the old Wackers. Now somebody is starting to call their home telephone to harass them.
Fuck yes, dude.
Sometimes the person on the other end would just stay silent or something, or sometimes they would breathe deeply and loudly like fucking Brainy from Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And multiple times, the Wackers, they would change their phone number, but somehow, through some sort of just fucking black devil magic, this harasser son of a bitch, he would find out the number and continue to call and harass them.
None of this actually happened. This was actually just their family calling them. They just couldn't fucking hear what they were saying. So it was either silent or breathing, but really they were shouting into the phone.
Yeah, but the phone call thing is really weird. I mean, it's not like there are books that like say what people's phone numbers are that are put on your yard against your will.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The phone book is like actually used back then.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were changing it and then being unlisted. Like, no offense to the Whackers, but they probably just left it in there.
Yeah. Also either way, like if you're looking up like the phone number for the Whackers, you're gonna see the one that's for the strip club, and then this one, so you know which one to call.
Like, I know the voice is completely different, but what if it was just Kane calling them? I want you to know something.
No one can stop Kane.
And Dorothy, she said that sometimes the caller would threaten her and say things like, "I'll knock you in the head and lay you out." That's what she said.
Oh my God, yes.
And-
Oh wait, so he was gonna whack her?
Oh.
Well, yeah, the guy who fucking hit an old lady and she lived. I would stop being afraid of this guy, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This guy, this new guy.
Oh, fuck
Oh, my God.
yes,
DJ
dude. Once again.
And then late at night, the Whackers, they started hearing strange noises. Something or someone was outside banging on the side of their house late at night. Now, this isn't funny. That sucks because this poor old couple, they're just getting harassed for years and years and years. But if I was a teenager, it would bring me so much fucking joy just to run up to old people's houses at nights and beat the shit out of the side of it and run away.
Yeah. Like, I made a song about it. I just run up and, like, just beat on their trash can.
Oh, fuck yeah. Banging on a trash can.
They were used
Something
to
on the
beating
street
though at the
light?
Whacker house.
The Whackers, that's all they did, man.
Was that the Beats?
Drumming on a street light. No,
Yeah.
that was
That's not the Beats,
that's
is it?
one little
Dre?
voice. I mean, it's from Doug.
I thought
Yeah,
it
but
was multiple Dougs.
wasn't the band called the Beats though?
It was Doug and Skeeter, but it was them doing it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I forget what they call themselves in it.
Yeah, damn, dude, it's been a while since I watched Doug.
So the Whackers, they start hearing all these strange noises, people beating on the side of their house at night. So every time they heard this, they would run outside to see who it was, but there was never anyone around. No culprits. And in the episode's recreation, whenever they do it, it's like a fucking T-Rex is outside the house. Like everything shakes in the house. Like the fucking Incredible Hulk is out there just like dry fucking the side of their home.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then Dorothy is like, "What's that?" And Bill replies, "I don't know, but I'm darn sure gonna find out." And he pulls a gun out of
fuck
like
yes.
fucking thin air, and he
Yes.
heads out the front door and waves his fucking gun around.
He pulls it out like Danny DeVito from Always Sunny. He fucking has that gun
It
everywhere.
really is.
He pulls it out of her pussy, but it's one of those like 6-shooters with the barrel's like a foot long.
It shoots through schools.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. He pulls the gun out of her pussy, and it's like fucking the symbiote of Venom is in there trying to pull it back.
Oh, so he's married to Mucklow.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
But when the house was shaking and they didn't know what it was, clearly they've never visited our Dragon's fucking cars.
Oh shit!
What?
Yeah, dude.
I need to
never
visit that
been?
now.
Oh, okay. Today's subreddit of the week is our Dragon's fucking cars, which is just GIFs and clips and stuff of animated dragons humping cars.
Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
fuck. Yeah, I want to see that.
So every time they go out there and they look, they don't see anything, they don't hear anything, like not even a car in the distance, just silence. So at this point, Bill, he's had enough. This motherfucker's a World War II veteran. Don't forget his promise that he's going to protect this home. He's not just going to let this shit fly. So he stepped up his game. He set up some security lights outside. So take that, you motherfucker. And then almost immediately after he put these lights up, they found a note that was left on their front porch.
Oh, yes.
A note that read, "Your lights are a laugh."
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
And the word lights, instead of an S, he put a Z.
Ooh.
So he was extreme. This guy's extreme.
Fred Durst, we're getting onto your trail.
He was good
So-
at marketing.
So with the Z, does that make this Zebo?
Cigars. Now, the full note, it's hard to read, but you can kind of make it out, and it says, "Sunday didn't do you in. Next time, called but didn't answer. Your lights are a laugh." And there would be a few more notes to be found in the upcoming months and years, because, yeah, this goes on for fucking almost 10 years, a long-ass time.
Shit.
Damn.
Wait, since they specifically targeted lights, And Massillon is on the southeastern side of Ohio, on the Ohio River, close to West Virginia. Was it the Mothman?
Yeah, that's where you're going. Yeah,
It could be.
it was.
Must have been.
We'll talk about that in theories, too.
Maybe I'm thinking of Marietta.
We'll bring that up. Yeah, it's not that. Massillon's only an hour away.
Oh, okay.
It is to the east, but I don't think it's south.
It's
Oh.
completely landlocked.
But the thing that's kind of weird, it's not like a constant harassment. Like sometimes they would be months or even years in between. And it's really strange altogether. And Dorothy, she would even find one note that said, "You scum, I'll get even, no junk."
What the
So
fuck?
what the fuck? I don't even know.
That's cool. Hashtag Wildman.
I don't know any of this case. None of this shit makes any sense.
Do you want to say it, Spencer? From Oblivion?
Oblivion. I didn't play
Freeze,
Oblivion.
prisoner scum!
Oh, nice. I didn't play Oblivion.
It was fucking.
I should.
It was super hard.
And there's also another note that just said, "This time, haha." And this next part, it's taken from the Unsolved Mysteries wiki page on this episode. I'm just going to read it word for word. But it said that periodically, knights began appearing on the front porch, threatening and mocking them. Police noted that the uneven, jagged style of the writing appeared to be due to someone using their non-dominant hand to write, as if to conceal their handwriting style. No fingerprints have ever been found on the notes. And I believe, like sometimes, if not all the time, the notes seem to always be written in crayon. So, I don't know. It's fucking really weird. It doesn't
It's
make any
creepy,
sense.
but like I'm not against this person yet. Like, 'cause he hasn't. Well, okay,
He knocked the old bitch
He did
out.
punch the old lady.
He knocked Dorothy out.
Honestly, like, he might have just farted in her direction. She could have thought he got punched. Then she got punched in the head.
He closed the door too hard on his way out.
So, yeah, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't mean to. So, I mean, I'm still not convinced this person's a bad guy.
I tried to stick in her ass and she closed the door too hard on me.
Okay.
Imagine if you wrote the notes in like a spirograph.
Oh my god, yes.
They would probably
Or a
die.
light bright.
reading it. A light bright would be good, dude. Your lights are a laugh, unlike my lights.
Oh.
But yeah, unfortunately, no fingerprints were ever found on these notes. And much like Ren Stevens and Mutai on the fictional island of Mandalino in the Even Stevens movie, things are about to heat up.
Oh shit.
Do you remember in the Even Stevens movie when Ren and Mutai, because it's all set up, and they're like, yeah, you got to get that kiss. Get that kiss, then dump her. Because it's a reality TV show. Never mind. It's a fucking sweet movie.
I've never seen that movie.
Now, October 27th, 1993, and for all you history buffs, all you history nerds out there, this is only 19 days after Demolition Man was released in theaters.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's for all you history nerds out there.
Yeah.
Now, Dorothy, she would be attacked once again. This time, she would end up with skull lacerations. And one source stated she had a concussion, but I'm not sure how serious her injuries were, actually. Only one site said concussion. All the other ones said skull laceration. So I have no idea how serious that is. Like, if she just got, like, cuts there or if she had fucking brain coming out. I don't know.
DJ, you were batting 0 for 2, buddy.
And while she was in the hospital recovering, the police quickly questioned the neighbors and anyone else they could find in the nearby neighborhood. However, no dice.
Yeah.
There would be no useful information that led to any suspects or anything.
Well.
All those non-concussion sites must be pro NFL sites.
That's true, dude. Now, we do have another fun note in regards to Demolition Man.
Oh, fuck yes. I knew that was coming up.
So, Sylvester Stallone, he stated in interviews that the idea behind the 3 seashells was that 2 were used like chopsticks, like so they could use them like chopsticks to clamp together to pull the waste out of the body, and then the third was used to scrape what was left over. No explanation was made about how they were to be cleaned or sanitized between uses, though. So that is how they said is how you use the 3 seashells.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That never made any fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do have another fun note in regards to Demolition Man. Would you like that now or in a little bit?
Keep them coming.
You know, Simon...
Yes, I would like to subscribe to Demolition Man Facts.
So Simon Phoenix, the character that is played by Wesley Snipes,
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone originally wanted Jackie Chan to play that part,
Oh, my
Wow.
God.
which would make the scene in the museum
Yeah.
where an Asian family walks by and Wesley Snipes goes, ching chang, huang tang hong, would make that part make even more no sense at all. Besides
But,
it just being
dude,
racist.
it would have been funny as fuck, though. Not that it wasn't already funny as fuck, but it would have been really funny as fuck.
The funniest part is I would have thought that was how they would have talked if it was coming from Jackie Chan.
It would have just been a conversation at that
Yeah.
point.
Honestly.
But yeah,
I mean, Kev still understood, but yeah.
But yeah, in Demolition Man, there's a part where Wesley Snipes is just in this building. I think it's a museum. An Asian family walks by for no reason at all. Doesn't add to the story or anything. He just sees them and laughs and goes, ching chang, hoing dong. And it's just being racist. Like, there's nothing more to it than being racist.
We can tell it bothers Kevin a
It's
lot.
fucking hilarious. It's bad, but it's hilarious because it makes no sense.
I wonder if Mel Gibson requested that be put in.
Dude, what's his movie? Mel Gibson's movie that he directed and made that just has the
There's
random...
a few of them.
Yeah, there's actually one that was good.
Braveheart.
No, I mean...
Apocalypto.
It was really close.
Apocalypto.
Yeah.
Where there's just a random shot of him smiling, laughing, and then just Waldo. Where's Waldo put in a scene for a split second? It makes no fucking sense.
Huh.
You guys have seen that, right?
Nah.
Wow.
No.
Get ready. Get fucking ready.
It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.
And now this is one of my favorite parts of the case. Not my absolute favorite, but it's up there. The police, they meet with Dorothy to ask her some questions. And they let her know that, they're like, hey, we don't want you to take this the wrong way or anything, but be honest with us. Do you think maybe that this is your husband just doing all this shit to you?
Oh, fuck yes.
But Dorothy believes there is no way he is capable of doing anything like this. And of course, Bill denies it as well. And the reason the police ask this question is because they can't come up with a real motive as to why all this shit's happening, like for 10 years. The pattern of it doesn't make any sense either because it's not constant. It's random. Like one thing will happen this month, then the next month, then nothing for 2 years. It's so sporadic and spread out over 10 years, it just makes no sense.
Oh, I got a motive for him. For the lulls.
That is true.
So could this be, if the husband might be a suspect, would this be considered masturbation because this is self-whacking?
So the police, Dorothy, Bill, none of them can find out anything in regards to who is doing this. They have no suspects and no real clues to go on. All they have is the word of Dorothy and Bill.
No.
They're calling the police, filing the reports and all that, but the suspect has never been caught or identified. And now we come to quite possibly the worst stakeout in the history of just the entire fucking planet. November 1993.
Nice.
The Wackers decided that they were going to catch this asshole once and for all.
Fuck yes.
So they were planning a stakeout, but not just any stakeout, the stakeout. So the Wackers, they decided that they were going to split up into 3 groups, and each group had walkie-talkies to keep in touch and pass along any information they wanted to the other group because that's how walkie-talkies work.
Yeah, I'm surprised their old asses didn't use like fucking
Like, can we
Dixie cups
use-
and fucking rope.
So we have one group inside the home, which is Dorothy and her daughter Kathy. Then they have another group, which is just one whacker who's off out in the tool shed.
Oh, fuck. They've been whacking in my tool shed.
No, that was for you, Primo. That's not a real group. Group number
It is.
2 is just Bill. And what he decided was that he's going to park a giant fucking trailer out in the driveway. A trailer that is never, ever there, but on the stakeout night it is. So Bill, he hides in that thing, while group 3, which consisted of 2 of their son-in-laws, they were parked in a van across the street.
Hey, I have a question. On their walkie-talkies, what channel were they on?
Yeah, I was gonna.
What channel was Bill on? What was Bill's channel?
Holy shit.
You bitch.
so happy.
Kev hates when you bring that
I
up.
thought this was going to be a joke about, like, they didn't... I thought it was going to be about a channel getting turned off because they're old and they go to bed early. I thought it was a TV channel joke. That was good, man. So this stakeout, it's just the most obvious fucking stakeout in the entire world right here. For a guy that sporadically comes to the house like a couple times a year maybe, or goes a couple of years without showing up, like the likelihood of catching this guy is just 0%. Like why would
Yeah.
he just show up on this night?
Yeah.
And not only does he rarely ever show up to the house, but on this night, There's a camper parked in the driveway. Across the street, there's a van parked. Like, they reversed the van in so they could sit in there and watch the house.
Yeah.
It's just the most obvious fucking thing in the world.
Like, the funny thing is he probably was going to show up that night. He's like, oh, well, fuck this now.
And this is in November as well. So it's taking place at night. So it's going to be cold as shit out because November in Ohio, you get nights that are super fucking cold.
Yeah.
So I imagine that the camper and the van, they were probably on at least a little bit to have some heat going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now this
No fucking way.
So now this stakeout, it probably takes place like all night, right? Like that's what you guys would be thinking. Like the stakeout is going to be going on all fucking night so they can catch that guy.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to leave they just want to leave no stone unturned.
The stakeout would at least take longer to cook actual steak, right?
Yeah.
Well, this stakeout, it started at 6:30 p.m.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At like around 10 p.m. they get tired and quit.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
But granted, they're old. Like they stayed up like way past their bedtime for that.
Well, are they all old, though? I mean,
No, but the Wackers, like the Bill and Dorothy, are pretty old.
Yeah, they could have let them go to bed and the rest of them could have fucking finished, but okay.
Yeah, but they had what show was on back then? They had to go fucking watch Boy Meets World.
It was like 93, 94, so they had the OJ chase to watch.
Oh, fuck
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Hell
yeah.
That is way more important.
Oh, 94? Fuck. A lot of good movies came out in 94.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
true.
Shawshank came out.
Gangbang Slut 7.
So they decide to end the stakeout between 10 and 10:30. However, as soon as they walkie-talkie to each other that the stakeout was now over, they heard thumping sounds coming from the porch. So they raced to go see what it was. And nothing. Nobody there. However, there was a note. A note that said, quote, "Get the message." But there's no question mark. It's just "get the message."
Okay.
So what the fuck happened? This makes it just honestly makes no sense at all because Dorothy and Kathy, they're inside the house and you think they'd be watching out the windows. There's a fucking van parked across the street facing the front porch, and then Bill is in the driveway. So how they didn't see this guy, I have no idea. Nothing in this case makes any fucking sense.
You know,
It was one of them.
I think there's a version of the Bible called The Message. It's like a version that's rewritten in like modern slang. I'm serious.
Oh, hell
There's like a
yes.
version of the Bible that's rewritten in like modern language, and it's called The Message.
That's
So
pretty
maybe
awesome.
that's what they meant. Just get the
Hopefully.
message.
That'd be cool.
They could.
When you said the message, I thought you were talking about that Slick Rick song.
What's that?
Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge.
And that was the last that they ever heard from the harasser. Just left a note that said, "Get the message," and that was it. Bill, he ended up dying in 1999 at the age of 79, which is 5 years after the last note was found. And it is unknown if the harassment continued after his death, but those 5 years, they didn't get any more harassment. And then Dorothy, she died on July 22nd, 2010 at the age of 83.
Oh, wow.
So sadly, Bill and Dorothy, they would end up passing away without ever finding out who was behind this harassment and why someone would be motivated enough to even do this. Other than Dorothy's account of the assault, there have been no real suspects or leads. She gave that description of what that guy looked like, but there's just been no real evidence or anything they could really do with that information. The Massillon Police Department, they believe that either a neighbor or a family member was behind this for the last 9-10 years, but nevertheless, the case just remains unsolved. That was all there is to that case, really.
Oh, the last bit of evidence was got the message.
Get the message.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know if that is
Like a statement
like,
of fact.
do you get the message, or I see,
I got the
I
message.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
Yeah.
but there's so many questions. Like we're getting to the theories right now, but just so much of this case just screams hoax because
Yeah,
a
oh,
lot
yeah,
of it
absolutely.
doesn't make any sense at all. Like returning the guns, all the items that were stolen getting returned, nobody else seeing or hearing anything. All the new phone numbers getting learned instantly.
Yeah.
And the fact that they put up with getting harassed for like 10 years instead of moving away. I don't know. The stakeout was 100% legit, though.
Oh, yeah, that was going to work.
Yeah, he's like, we did this exact thing in World War II. This is how we did it.
Yeah. We just showed them exactly where we were, and yeah, we used walkie-talkies.
So, all right, here we go. On to theories. Anything before we jump into the theories?
No, I think so.
Nope.
Toof, I want to hear what your theory is, man. You have a theory on this?
I don't think it was a family member.
No?
Because they were all in the house and they heard footsteps on the porch.
Which is
Someone
true.
banging. I think someone was banging on the house and left a note.
And a lot of people were banging in the house because they were into incest.
Yeah, but a lot of them did solo though. A lot of them just stuck to whacking.
Okay, the only thing logically I can come up with is, let's say someone was stalking them and they did keep getting their phone numbers changed.
Yes.
And that I work for a utility company and I pretty much have everyone's phone numbers on an account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like electric, water, gas company would always have your phone number no matter what.
Yeah.
So it could be someone from there.
So are you saying it was you?
So what were you doing, Toof?
Whacking.
Oh. So the first theory that most people mention is that, well, it was probably Bill and Dorothy. It's probably both of them in on it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they kept this up for like 9 or 10 years. All the items that were stolen were returned. But then again, Dorothy legit gets attacked and sent to the hospital. And, I mean, so that doesn't really add up, like unless she was willing to get beat up for this joke.
Yeah.
How many times were they getting harassed before her attack?
This was 10 years worth. Like, they were getting called all the time. The house was getting messed with.
Was the attack like halfway in like 1990 or 1987?
I
Because it
forget
started
the-
in 84.
Yeah, I mentioned the dates. I don't remember what they are now. I
'Cause
think they were pretty early on.
Because if her attack happened like one of the very first ones, then all the harassments happened. I almost wonder if she had an abusive husband, and
Yeah.
that was his way of covering up for hitting her, and he
that's
just kept
what
doing that
That's
stuff.
what I was going to say. Like,
Yeah, I could see it. That's going to be our next theory, one of Bill or Dorothy. So online, a lot of people think that one of them was in on it, and maybe they possibly got help from a different family member to do it, or they just did it all on their own. And some think that Dorothy was part of it, because in the segments of Unsolved Mysteries, when they're being interviewed, sometimes she smiles or smirks. And I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, but after reading the comments, I went back and paid attention. She does do it a few times, but it could mean nothing. Like one of the times she smiles and looks down, but it's right when Bill says the word kooks. But when she's telling the story, sometimes it looks like she has a smirk going on. So the police, they originally thought that Bill was the one doing it. Like he was the only real suspect they had for a while, but even though Bill and Dorothy denied it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he was abusive, and maybe that was their way of covering it up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that would also explain the incidents were just so all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it happened once a month, sometimes it happened once a year, nothing for a couple of years. So, I mean, you'll find more people think that either Dorothy or Bill did it. But some people also claim that maybe it was a family member of theirs, possibly even one of their children messing with them, because if they kept changing their number, then it had to have been someone close to the family that knew the phone number. And there was another theory that maybe Bill or Dorothy owed money to someone, and like maybe that would explain that message on their dining room wall that said cheap, or whatever said cheap, but next better than nothing. I can't remember what it said exactly.
Yeah.
But there's been no proof that they really owed money to anyone.
See, I think it was Bill. Like, I think Bill was abusive and stuff. Like, it just makes sense. And him like leaving that message after like attacking her. He was just talking about her buying Taco Bell for dinner one night, and he's like, "It's cheap, but it's better than nothing."
And then the only other theory is that it was just like a random asshole.
Yeah.
Like someone else who was either not a family member, or it could be a family member or a neighbor, but just some random guy who's just fucking with him.
Yeah.
Because the amount of knowledge this person had on the Wacker's schedule, like they believe it had to have been someone close to them. Because, like I said, they always knew when one of them was away. They always knew when she was alone, and they knew the phone numbers and all that stuff. So
The thing that gets me is like her being attacked twice, but like she's old as fuck and like wasn't killed. So it was either somebody that wasn't planning on killing her and was just, you know, planning on attacking her and leaving. But I mean, then you give a chance of them being able to identify you.
yeah,
But if it's just her husband being abusive and them trying to like make an excuse for it, like that makes more sense to me.
All right. Say you want to plan a murder or something like that. So you just go to some old fuck's house, steal their guns and shit, commit the murder, and bring the guns back.
That's true.
So
yeah.
like they're like, oh yeah, we found a shell casing that belongs to the specific gun, but it's their gun.
yeah, but I don't think you would just
Yeah.
give the gun back. Though you'd probably sell it or destroy it. I would
Oh, I'd
think.
bring it back and I'd punch that
Oh.
old lady right in her head
But then why keep harassing them afterwards?
for funsies.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. Well, so we know what Tooth did this whole time.
What about you, Spence?
We know what Toof did last summer. Well, here's theory number one. It was Bill and his friend Ted.
Oh,
yeah.
Been an excellent adventure.
It was excellent. Here's another one. Dorothy was playing around with one of those prank telescopes that gives you the black eye. And then she didn't understand it when she took it out of the package and tried it out. She thought it was a real telescope. She was gonna like see the stars or something. With the black eye, she had to cover it up somehow. So this story began.
Honestly, that's not that bad of a theory, though.
No.
That could have happened.
It's none of this shit makes sense. I don't have like a suspect that I'm like 100% sold on.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It had to have been Bill or Dorothy, I would think, but it just doesn't make sense. Like Dorothy's the only one. Dorothy's always alone when it happens.
Yeah.
She's the only one who gives like word of the story and says she was attacked. Stuff. I mean, she really did get hit, but maybe she just fucking fell.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just Bill. Whenever I heard them talk in the interviews, I believed Bill way more than I believed Dorothy. But it makes more sense for Bill to do it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know. I kind of like Dorothy as a suspect, but none of them make any sense. It's always Dorothy's alone when it happens, and the only stories we really have are her word. I don't know. It could just been a random family member. Maybe it was just a bunch of their family members who like maybe some of them were in on it at the beginning. Like it could be unrelated to the beginning attack.
Yeah,
Then the rest of them could have just been people fucking with them.
it's true.
I don't know. But yeah, that's everything on this case. You guys have anything else you want to mention about it?
No, that's a weird one.
Yeah, it just makes no sense. I don't know.
All right, you wackos, yackos, and Dot.
Oh, fuck yeah, I like that.
Thank you all for listening to our podcast. We love you. We want you to come have our babies. If you'd like to support us in other ways, if you can't do that, you can check us out on social media. We got a Facebook, we got a Twitter, Instagram, all kinds of good shit. Follow us, leave us feedback, tell us what you think. We love all your comments. We send them to each other throughout the week, and we fucking love it, man. It's great. You can check us out at Brotherscommon.place. It'll lead you to our Spreaker page, I think, for now, where we keep the podcast that you love so much. If you'd like to support us financially, you can check us out on Patreon. At the $1 a month level, you get all of our bonus content, all of our extra episodes. It is fucking the shit, man. It is so good.
And we're going to be recording Tooth Stories Part 2 tonight.
Yeah.
So
Tooth stories. These stories have never before been told.
Never.
So you probably want to check that out. It's only $1. It's like a third of what it costs to get that coffee you got at Starbucks earlier
We
today.
can't tell you guys right now because if we do, Toof would be in jail.
dude, I know I gave him a shout out earlier because of his birthday, Wildman from Queens. But he always sends us funny shit on Patreon. And he ended the latest message with "Be good, stay safe, and come on mirrors." Because now, if you don't have Patreon, you're not going to know what that means.
Fuck yes,
But
dude.
Exactly.
it is in Tooth Stories.
But Wildman from Queens knows. And do you really want to not know things that Wildman from Queen knows?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
He bought us all shirts, man. I got to go pick that
Thank
shit
you.
up.
Can't wait for that. That's gonna be awesome.
As a teaser, can I also give a bonus insight that I never said on that?
Yeah.
The mirror wasn't laying down. It was like up against the wall.
Oh,
Really?
fuck
How'd
yes,
you get that? How'd you get so much air on that? You tug on your
No.
nuts, right? As you tug
Honestly,
down
I
those
think when I was
nuts.
younger, I just like rubbing my dick on stuff because I'm pretty sure I put it up against the mirror and just shot it on
Oh
it.
my god.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he get reelected that year? Or?
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right, Patreon, social media. You can, if you're old school, you can email us at brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. And am I forgetting anything? Threadless. Buy some shirts, buy some hoodies. Do we do mouse pads? And
I don't know. There's a lot of shit on
mugs
there.
and
There's like bath mats and
bumper
book
stickers.
bags and
Fuck
stuff.
yeah. Get a shower
That'd be
curtain
awesome.
with all four of us faces on it.
Dude,
we
holy
should do
shit.
that.
I will fucking
should.
I will buy a Brothers Commonplace shower curtain.
It'll be
easily.
almost as good as that Jeff Goldblum shower curtain that I really want to buy.
For a limited time only, we'll say the next 30 days. If you want to, you have to say you want this. You send in a picture, and I'll do a cum tribute to it.
What the? You know what's funny? The day after we released one of our bonus episodes, Raven sent us a video where she's just like, "Fucking do potty words." Because remember you said you do potty words?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that was? I was trying to figure out what she was
It
saying.
was just
okay.
quiet. She's like, "Fucking do potty words."
Okay, gotcha. Now I
Wait,
know
it
what
was
you're
a
saying.
voice.
Yeah, she sent a video.
Oh.
So that means you have to do potty words too. If you said
okay.
you would.
Wait, what was the stipulation?
You just said you would do it if someone asked.
Oh, fuck. All right. All right.
Potty words is just when I was a kid. I used to stand on the bathroom sink in front of the mirror naked, and I'd talk.
Okay.
I had like a radio show where my butthole said bad words.
Okay, I do remember. Okay, all right.
Yeah. And special thanks to everyone that's left us reviews on iTunes. I know I mentioned it earlier, but we really want to make a big splash this year, and we can't do that without you guys. So if you haven't left us a 5-star review, that would really help us out. If you enjoyed the show, it takes a couple minutes. I know it's kind of annoying, but yeah, that would really mean a lot to us. And it helps out the underdogs. And also, I can't remember who it is, so I apologize. I think it's Penguin with a Glock who mentioned that we should get a shirt of like a noose that says "Hanging with the Brothers."
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
I love that.
I think we might try and get that commissioned. We're going to work on some details on it and check out Reddit's, what's it called? Hungry Artists?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might find someone on Hungry Artists and see if they want to make it or get it commissioned. We'll pay them for it.
Hey, artist, you want to make it big? We got some exposure for you.
And also, I want to say thank you to everyone that sent us stuff. I haven't been to my parents' house to pick it up yet, but we got a bunch of shit waiting on us. So I'm probably going to post it on Instagram and also on our Patreon and give you guys shout outs for it. Yeah, I've really been enjoying it. People lately have just been sending messages. They were like, hey, man, today sucked or I had a shitty day, but I listened to your podcast and it made it all better. So you guys cracked me up.
We love that stuff.
Dude,
man. We really do.
For real, like it sucks that a lot of our listeners have shitty days, it sounds like. But because we get a lot of them, but dude, that's so fucking rad that they're like, yeah, your podcast made my day better. So that's super cool. It means a lot to us. Also, any of our listeners, if you have anything we want to shout out, like if you have your own podcast and you got a promo, we'll play it. If you have just anything you're working on, we want to help everyone out, get the Commonplace community together and get some cool stuff rolling. So if you want a shout out or you want help getting anything moving along, let us know. We'll do what we can.
Absolutely.
All right, Primo, it's on you, brother.
Just keep up, like the 5-star reviews. I mean, not any of that 1-star bullshit. We're not dealing with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
But keep up the 5-star reviews and all that kind of stuff. Any kind of suggestions, we love it all. For the Patreon people, not that they're better, but just talking to the Patreon people.
It's not better. It's just
it's just different. But we've played a lot of games and stuff like that, like on the podcast, like the Goosebumps or ICP or like brother movies, stuff like that, like the headlines and all that. So if we were gonna do that in like an upcoming Patreon episode, like I mean, we could do all the games, but what's your guys' favorite game that we've done? I don't think we've ever asked you guys if it comes to like brother movies or headlines or ICP or Goosebumps, any of that kind of stuff. What's a good game that we play that you guys would want to hear?
But speaking of Patreon, since I forgot to mention it, thank you everyone that signed up for that. That is super awesome. We're trying to put out one bonus episode a week now. Sometimes it's going to be shorter crime stories. Sometimes it'll be funny stuff. Who knows? But this week we're going to do 2 stories, part 2. Then next week we're going to do a shorter crime, a local crime from around here. And yeah, it's $1 or $5 a month, and it really helps us out. I'll send you stickers. I'll mail you letters. Sometimes I draw wieners on baseball cards and mail those out too. So if you want those, sign up for the Patreon. We'll mail some out to you.
Wait, tell me more about these wiener baseball cards.
Oh yeah, I drew one. I don't know. I just found a bunch of baseball cards, started drawing on them and mailing them out to people.
Yeah, we also like if you're a Patreon, we write all our Patreon members their names down in a hat, and we shake it up and we pick one out.
In the hat.
We pick one. Well, yeah, we do that, and then we pick one out, and whoever wins, we give Mel Hall your guys' phone number.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, real quick. Can I say something real quick? So Sean Manchester, the guy we talked about from the Highgate vampire case, I posted the Highgate vampire episode on Twitter like long ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, it's time to jump in with your favorite brothers to discuss the mystery of the Highgate vampire. Well, Sean Manchester on Twitter sent a message saying, before, quote, jumping into the mystery of the Highgate vampire, I would recommend you become cognizant of some of the facts surrounding it, and then sent us a link to his website. Now, that could be anyone you would think, but I did some investigation. He has 30 followers, which makes me believe even more this is the real one.
Yeah, because he's not going to have any more than that.
And then he is commenting on people's comments from like 2015. He just searched Highgate Vampire. Every single one he's commented on.
Jesus Christ.
I think this is the real Sean Manchester.
Holy
and if it
shit.
is, shout out to you sideburns son of a bitch. Alrighty. Also on Reddit, I saw something funny that said J.K. Rowling reveals that you, the reader, were gay all along.
I saw that at work and I laughed
So that
pretty
was
hard.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
So alrighty, too, if you want to hit us with some words of wisdom, brother.
All right, I got some good stuff today.
Nice.
So Andrew's missing, but he's not just missing. He's out doing stuff. And, I usually like to keep tabs on him. So I followed him. And me and him went to this small, underdeveloped country, and we became militant overlords. We forced them to listen to the podcast. We had sex with the locals, spread our seed, got them accustomed to their new life and stuff. Things were actually running pretty well. Andrew got too much power, and they were calling him potato penis. And I really didn't understand that. But after I found out after the language barrier, it was actually, he was just a dictator. That's it.
Dude, how the fuck did I not see that coming? You like after potato dick or potato
penis.
Potato penis, dude. That was fucking
That
good.
was fucking awesome, dude. I loved
Fuck
it.
yeah. So alrighty, everyone listening, stay tuned and listen to our outro that was recorded for us by the Bash Brothers and the Last Bandoleros.
Great stuff.
Super fucking good. They have a new song out. Check that out. It's super badass, super rad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you everyone for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
And laugh at the dark stuff.
#Wildman.
#Wildman.
#guacamole.
Oh, fuck yeah. Thank you, Mark.
I love that Subway has mushrooms now.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, you know what I didn't put? I forgot to say this in the last episode. In one of the Treadwell speeches, he's like, fuck you, animals rule. So I put #animals rule at the end of the episode.
Fuck
So
yes.
#animals rule.
# boy pussy.
Boy pussies.
Oh, yeah, that needs to be in every episode.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You teared up because the barista screwed up your order. You finished a pint of fudge ripple ice cream in front of the freezer. You yelled at your desk neighbor, Leslie, for breathing too loud. This time, don't go and buy another box of tampons. Question what you thought you knew about periods. Question what you buy, what you use, what the usual way, right way is to deal with it. Revolutionize. Switch it up. Try the Diva Cup and see how it can make dealing with your period a whole lot better.